Welcome to the video session BBA first semester, Levensa University. Today we have to discuss one of the most important chapter, ratio analysis. When you discuss that ratio analysis, here question may arise that what is ratio, why we calculate this ratio, is highly essential or not. Coming to the first point, that is ratio analysis and ratio, meaning of ratio. What ratio is? Normally all of us know that a ratio is an arithmetical expression of relationship between two interrelated and interdependent variables. Interrelated and interdependent variables. When the ratios are calculated on the basis of financial or accounting variables, by considering financial or accounting variables of the financial statement, that we may say that is accounting ratios. Accounting ratios provide a quantitative relationship by which analysts may use to make qualitative judgment about various aspects of financial position and performance of a company. Financial position and performance of a company. So my dear friends, when you say that is ratio, that is purely arithmetical expression of relationship between two interrelated and interdependent variables. So what is that accounting ratios? That when the ratios are calculated on the basis of considering variables, accounting variables from the financial statements, that is known as accounting ratios. Ratio analysis is a technique of analyzing the financial statements. It refers to analysis of financial statements by computation of ratios. What it is? Ratio analysis is a process of determining and interpreting relationship between the items of financial statements to provide a meaningful understanding of the performance and financial position of the companies. So by going through this, we may conclude that ratio analysis is an accounting tool to present accounting facets in a simple, concise, intelligible and understanding form. Here question arises, if ratio is purely an interdependent and interrelated variables, so what are the objectives of ratio analysis? Ratios are regarded as the true test of earning capacity, financial soundness and operating efficiency of a company. When you use such various ratios that test the profitability, liquidity, solvency and operating efficiency of a company. What we have to test? Profitability. What we have to test? Liquidity. Solvency, short-term solvency, whether company is able to meet the obligation or not, long-term solvencies and operating efficiency of the companies. So normally that ratio are regarded as the true test of earning capacity, financial soundness and operating efficiency of the companies. Ratio is useful in analyzing the financial statements. We have to analyze and we have to interpret the financial statements regarding profitability, regarding liquidity, regarding solvency, regarding operating portion. Ratio is useful in simplifying accounting figures. Ratio is useful in judging the operating efficiency of the business. Ratio is useful for forecasting purpose. We may forecast because we have to analyze and we have to interpret the results by going through this technique, that is ratio analysis. And another important merits or uses, that is, it is useful in locating the weak spots of the business. And last but not least, it is useful in inter-firm and intra-firm comparison. Inter-firm and intra-firm comparison. Then question arises, what are the classification of ratios? How we classify and we may analyze the financial statements? The classification normally depends on the objectives and available data. Ratios may be based on figures in the balance sheet, in the profit and loss account, or in both. We have to consider either that income statement and we have to go through various ratios, or we may consider the figure from the balance sheet, then we may calculate various ratios, or we may combinely considering any variables from income statement and your balance sheet or position statement, and we may calculate that various types of ratios. So coming to the part, that is when we talk about the classification of ratios, that how we work out. Normally ratios may be worked out on the basis of figures contained in the financial statement, contained in the financial statements. Ratios may be classified as income statement ratios, position statement ratios, composite ratio. Broadly, we may classify into these three categories. First one is income statement ratios, second one is position statement ratio, third one is composite ratio, or we may say that is inter statement ratios. So what is that income statement ratios? These ratios are classified on the basis of the items of income statements only. From trading account, from profit and loss account, we have to consider two variables and we may find out the ratios. For example, gross profit ratio. For example, stock turnover ratio. For example, net profit ratio. So these are ratios that is coming under income statement ratios, and that is classified on the basis of the items of income statement only. Then coming to the part second classification, that is position statement ratios. What it indicates? These ratios are calculated on the basis of the items of position statements only. That means from balance sheet, either assets and liabilities. So we have to consider and we calculate that ratios. What are the examples? Current ratios, debt equity ratios. So these are coming under position statement ratio. Then third one, that is composite ratio or interstatement ratios. Normally, when you calculate the ratios as far as inter-statement ratios or composite ratios, that these ratios are based on figures of income statement and position statement both. We have to consider both the statements and we have to calculate that various ratios. For example, fixed assets turnover ratio, net profit to capital employed ratios. So, when you classify the ratios into three categories, and we know that ratios as tools for establishing true profitability and financial position of a company, so that might be classified into liquidity ratio, solvency ratio, activity ratio and profitability ratios. So we may classify that these four categories: liquidity ratios, solvency ratios, activity ratios, profitability ratios. So when we talk about that this classification, that is liquidity ratio, otherwise we may say that is short-term solvency ratios, and what are the various types of short-term solvency ratios, or we may say that is liquidity ratio. Normally that broadly classified into two categories. One is current ratio, second one is liquid ratio. When we talk about that short-term solvency or liquidity ratio, other one is long-term solvency ratio. Under that, the ratios are classified into debt equity ratio, total asset to debt ratio, then proprietary ratio, interest coverage ratio, debt to total fund ratio. 5 classification as far as long-term solvency ratio is concerned. Then proceed to third one, that is activity ratio or turnover ratio, or we may say these are coming under performance ratios. Either we may say that is activity or turnover or performance ratios. Under these broad categories, ratios may be classified into inventory turnover ratio, debtors turnover ratio, working capital turnover ratio, fixed asset turnover ratio, capital turnover ratio, creditors turnover ratio. So broadly these are the 6 classification or categories as far as these performance ratios or activity ratios or turnover ratios. So coming to the part next categories, that is profitability ratio. So in these categories, that we may classify into 2 sub-broad categories under profitability ratio. One is on the basis of sales, other one is on the basis of investment. When you classify ratios on the basis of sales, so we may say the ratios are gross profit ratio, operating ratio, net profit ratios. Similarly, when we proceed to second subgroup, that is on the basis of investment, that we may classify into return on investment, return on equity, earning per share, dividend payout ratio, price earning ratios. So these are the 5 classification on the basis of subgroup, that is on the basis of investment. So normally profitability ratios are classified into 2 sub-broad categories. One is on the basis of sales, we have to calculate some ratios, and another one is on the basis of investment, we may calculate some ratios. So that is return on investment, return on equity, earning per share, dividend payout ratio, price earning ratios. So these are the broad classification of ratios. So once again, why we calculate these ratios? That ratios help to find out your solvency position, short-term solvency as well as long-term solvency position, and your profitability position, your operating position, your efficiency position, your activity position, and we may compare it to the previous year figure. We may find out, we may interpret the results regarding profitability, liquidity, solvency, efficiency of the organization. So remember what we have to consider. We have to consider that financial statement. That means under that financial statement we have to consider either income statement, position statement, and or both, and we have to calculate some important ratios. Remember, my dear friends, interpretation is very important as far as ratio analysis is concerned. Each ratio must be interpreted. Only calculation is not sufficient. We have to interpret, we have to give comment on that, whether that is acceptable or not, whether company is face more problems, liquidity crunch, or whether company is going for any outsiders claim more, or depends upon outsiders, whatever may be, that we have to find out regarding short-term solvency, regarding long-term solvency. Then coming to the part when we discuss about the ratios, what are the merits and uses, what are the objectives of ratios, and regarding classification. So very next that we have to discuss that various classification of ratios. First one is liquidity ratios. Otherwise, what we may say, that is short-term solvency ratio. So what liquidity ratios is? Liquidity ratios measure the short-term solvency. What it indicates? That business ability to pay its current obligation. Business ability to pay its current obligation. And we know that is these current ratios are otherwise known as short-term solvency ratios. Whether company is able to pay its current obligation or not, that when you calculate that this type of ratios, we may find out. So such ratios comprises current ratios and liquid ratios. Clear? What is the meaning of liquidity? That means short-term solvency position of the company, that whether business ability to pay its current obligation or not, that is purely solvency position, that is short-term solvency, liquidity position of the company. So what are the ratios? One is current ratios, other one is liquid ratios. So first one is current ratio. What it is, why we calculate these current ratios, how to calculate these current ratios. Current ratio is otherwise known as working capital ratios. Current ratios is otherwise known as working capital ratio. It establishes the relationship between current assets and current liabilities. It establishes relationship between current assets and current liabilities. This ratio is computed, current ratio is computed to assess the short-term financial position of the business. Short-term financial position of the business. Current ratio is an indicator of the business house ability to meet its short-term obligation. Ability to meet its short-term obligation. So how to calculate that current ratio? Current ratio is equal to current assets divided by current liabilities. Current ratio is equal to current assets divided by current liabilities. So current assets, what it indicates, what is current liabilities? Next step we have to discuss. What is current assets? Current assets means the assets that either in the form of cash or cash equivalents, or can be converted into cash or cash equivalent within a short period of time. So what it comprises? Current assets comprises cash in hand, cash at bank, bills receivable, debtors, prepaid expenses, closing stocks. These are current assets. These are current assets. So next one is, that is current liabilities. Current liabilities means that is liabilities repayable in the short period of time. Then same question, what it comprises? Current liabilities comprises creditors, bills payable, outstanding expenses, short-term loans. Generally, it is accepted that current assets should be 2 times the current liabilities. When we accept that 2 times the current liabilities, what it indicates? That indicates realization from current assets be sufficient to pay the current liabilities on time. Pay the current liabilities on time. The objective of computing such ratios is to assess the ability of the business to meet its short-term liabilities promptly. Short-term liabilities promptly. This ratio is used to assess the short-term solvency of the business. Normally, current ratios are used to assess the short-term solvency of the business. Because current liabilities is there, we have to accept 2:1 is acceptable ratio. So that is current assets should be 2 times the current liabilities. So current ratios is used to assess the short-term solvency of the business, because it is assumed that current assets can be converted into cash to meet current liabilities. So there are 2 variables, one is current assets, other one is current liabilities. One is current assets, other one is current liabilities. These 2 variables are to be found from, that is from position statement or balance sheet. So what is the meaning of current assets? That current assets, that is are those assets that are either in the form of cash or cash equivalents, or can be converted into cash or cash equivalents within a short period of time. What it comprises? Cash in hand, cash at bank, bills receivable, prepaid expenses, closing stock. Similarly, what is current liabilities? Current liabilities means liabilities repayable in the short period of time. So 2:1 is acceptable ratio. That means current assets should be 2 times the current liabilities. What it indicates, my dear friends? That means realization from current assets be sufficient to pay the current liabilities on time. And current ratios assess the short-term solvency of the business. Current ratios show the number of times the current assets are in excess over current liabilities. Number of times the current assets are in excess over current liabilities. Remember, a very high ratio will mean funds are idle. A very high ratio will indicate that funds are idle, which is not good sign for the business, which is not good sign for the business. So we have to maintain what is that acceptable ratio. 2:1 is acceptable ratio. So let us go for one example as far as current ratio is concerned. That suppose there are some information is available, like that is cash in hand rupees 2 lakh, debtors rupees 80,000, stock 1,20,000, creditors 1,50,000, bills payable rupees 50,000. Once again, cash in hand that is 2 lakh, debtors 80,000, stock 1,20,000. That means these cash in hand, debtors, stock, these are coming under current assets. Then next information, that is creditors rupees 1,50,000 and bills payable rupees 50,000 is given. That means creditors and bills payable are coming under current liabilities. Then we have to calculate current ratio out of that. When you calculate current ratio out of this information, so first we have to know what is current ratio. Current ratio, how to calculate that current ratio? Current ratio is equal to current assets divided by current liabilities. Current assets divided by current liabilities. So current assets, that includes, as per as this example, that is cash in hand, debtors, stock. Cash in hand 2 lakh plus debtor 80,000, 2 lakh 80,000 plus stock 1,20,000. That is total is 4 lakh. Similarly, as far as current liabilities is concerned, that is creditor is 1,50,000 and bills payable is 50,000. Total is 2 lakh. So current assets total is 4 lakh and current liabilities total is 2 lakh. So current ratio is equal to current assets divided by current liabilities. To show current assets is 4 lakh divided by 2 lakh. So what is the answer? Answer is 2:1. That is acceptable ratio. That means from these information we may conclude that, we may comment, we may interpret that company is able to meet its current obligation, because we know that is 2:1 is acceptable ratio. In this case 2:1 is the answer. That means, that indicates that company's short-term solvency position is good. Clear? Then proceed to another example, that is let us take, that is debtors is 90,000, that is current asset, prepaid expenses that is 20,000, cash in hand 30,000, short-term investment that is 20,000, machineries that is 10,000, bills payable 20,000, creditors 40,000, debenture 2 lakh, stock 40,000, expenses payable 40,000. What are the information is given? Debtor, that is current assets, prepaid expenses that is 20,000, that is coming under current assets, cash in hand 30,000, that is also coming under current asset, short-term investment that is also coming under current assets, that is 20,000. Then next one is machinery. Remember, that is coming under non-current assets, that is never that is current assets, that is fixed assets or non-current assets. Right now, as far as Companies Act 2013, we have to consider it as non-current asset, that is machinery. So we have to generate revenue by using the machinery, that is fixed in nature, that is permanent in nature. Clear? So that is not coming under current asset. Then next one is bills payable, that is current liabilities. Amount is given, that is 20,000. Similarly, creditors, that is 40,000. creditor, that is 40,000, that is coming under current liabilities. So very next information is given, that is debenture. Debenture, that is 2 lakh. That means that is long term liabilities, that is not short term liabilities. That is debt instrument, that is debt instrument. Debenture, that is creditorship securities, coming under creditorship securities, that is company may issue that debentures. So that is long term liabilities. Then coming to the part next information, stock, that is 40,000, that is current asset. Then expenses payable, rupees 40,000, that is also current liabilities. So next step is we have to go through and calculate by considering these items, that is which item is coming under current assets, which item is current liability, then make total, then go for calculation of ratios. So under current assets, debtor is 90,000 plus prepaid expenses, that is 20,000, that is 1,10,000. Then our cash in hand, that is 30,000. So 1,10,000 plus 30,000, 1,40,000. Then short term investment, that is 20,000. So 1,60,000 plus stock 40,000. Total is 2 lakh. That is current asset total is 2 lakh. Then proceed to current liabilities. Bills payable rupees 20,000, and creditors rupees 40,000. Total is 60,000, and expenses payable, that is 40,000. So total current liabilities is, that is 1 lakh. Total current liabilities is 1 lakh. Then we have to calculate that current ratio. How to calculate that current ratio? Current ratio is equal to current assets divided by current liabilities. So here current asset is 2 lakh and current liability is 1 lakh. So current asset divided by current liabilities, that is 2 lakh divided by 1 lakh. Answer is 2:1. So we have to interpret. Interpretation is very important. What we know, ideal ratio is 2:1. In this situation, it is acceptable because company is able to meet the current liabilities easily. As we know that a higher ratio indicates poor investment policies of the management, poor investment policies of the management and poor inventory control, while a lower ratio that indicates lack of liquidity and shortage of working capital. Lack of liquidity and shortage of working capital. So what it indicates? Current ratio throws a good light on the short-term financial position. Then coming to the part second one, that is liquid ratio. Liquid ratio, otherwise known as quick ratio or acid test ratio. It establishes the relationship between liquid assets and current liabilities. So these are the two variables we have to consider, that is from position statement, balance sheet. So what is liquid assets, what is current assets, and how to calculate that liquid ratio? Liquid ratio is computed to assess the short-term liquidity of the business. So liquid ratio is equal to liquid assets divided by current liabilities. So here question arises, what is liquid assets? Liquid assets are those assets which are either in the form of cash or cash equivalents, or can be converted into cash or cash equivalents within a very short period of time. Liquid assets are those assets which are either in the form of cash or cash equivalents or can be converted into cash or cash equivalents within a short period of time. Liquid assets comprise cash in hand, bills receivable, marketable securities and cash at bank. So similarly, current liabilities means liabilities repayable in the short period of time. Current liabilities comprises creditors, bills payable, outstanding expenses, short-term loans. So these are the two variables. One is liquid assets and other one is current liabilities. Current liabilities comprises creditors, bills payable, outstanding expenses and short-term loans. So my dear friends, here you have to remember that liquid assets are computed by deducting stock and prepaid expenses from the total current assets. When you calculate that liquid assets, what we have to deduct? We have to deduct stock and prepaid expenses. Here question arises, why we deduct? Remember what we have to calculate? Liquid assets, not current assets. So stock is excluded from liquid assets because it may take some time before it is converted into cash. Stock may take some time to convert it into cash. Similarly, prepaid expenses do not provide cash at all. For that reason, we have to deduct while calculating quick assets. So here question arises, what is the relationship between these quick assets and current assets? All quick assets are current assets, but all current assets are not quick assets. So how to calculate quick ratio? Quick assets divided by current liabilities. And remember that 1:1 is favorable as far as quick ratio is concerned. And this ratio is an indicator of short-term debt paying capacity of the business. Short-term debt paying capacity of the business. The objective of computing a liquid ratio is to assess the short-term solvency of the business. A decline in the liquid ratio that indicates the business may face the problem of liquidity. Business may face the problem of liquidity to meet the current obligation. So what is that liquid ratio? If acceptable ratio is 1:1 and when you say that is liquid ratio is 0.50 or 0.45, 0.40, what it indicates? The business may face the problem of liquidity to meet the current obligation. So let us take one example as far as this liquid ratio. Suppose let's take that is liquid assets is equal to rupees 54,000. So information is given, that is another one is current liabilities, that is same 54,000. So what is the answer as far as liquid ratio is concerned? That is 54,000 divided by 54,000, that is your 1:1 is acceptable. Then take another example, that is suppose that is current liabilities is given 50,000, current asset is given 80,000, stock is given rupees 25,000, prepaid expenses is given rupees 5,000 and debtor is given 30,000. So when you say these are the information is given, so you have to calculate that liquid ratio. What do you know? That is we have to deduct from current assets. What are the important variables you have to deduct? Stock and prepaid expenses. Here current asset is 80,000, stock is rupees 25,000, prepaid expenses is rupees 5,000. That means from 80,000 we have to deduct, that is 25,000 and 5,000. That means 30,000 we have to deduct from 80,000. So answer is, as far as liquid asset is concerned, that is rupees 50,000. So here current liabilities is also given, that is 50,000. So 50,000 divided by 50,000, liquid assets divided by, that is current liabilities 50,000. So answer is 1:1. Remember, 1:1 is acceptable ratio as far as liquid ratio. What it give information? It give information about short-term solvency position of the organization. Thank you.